Hello everyone, welcome to another session of problem solving with GMAT by example. Almost 30% people get this official guide question wrong, which makes it a medium difficulty question, and we are going to talk about two things. First, we are going to understand why are people getting this wrong so that we can learn from their mistakes and not make those mistakes during the exam. And second, we are going to look at which theorems or which properties get applied to this particular question, and finally how to solve it. Before we move forward, this is about you understanding the problems. So if you have any lingering questions or you want me to attempt any other official guide questions, please leave a comment. I personally respond to all the comments on my videos. So let's get started. So the most common reasons people get stuck in this question or make a mistake is because the lines given are not parallel. It is easier to solve these kind of questions when the lines given are parallel, but here none of the lines are parallel. Since the lines are not given parallel, it is not very easy to derive any kind of relationship between these four, and hence people just mark E and move on because they don't know how to proceed. The second common mistake is even though the lines are not parallel, the test takers end up applying the parallel line theorems, which says that internal angles on the same side of the transversal are 180, so x plus w should be 180, which means you can probably get some answer. So just by knowing w, you can get the value of x, and also because you know the value of x, you can get the value of y, which ends up giving them the wrong answers. So this is the part where we learn from those mistakes, right? First of all, it is very clear that these lines are not parallel. You have to think outside of the box and think of something else. Second, since the lines are not parallel, you cannot apply parallel line theorems in these lines just to answer the question. So let's now look at how to solve this question the right way. So first step here is just take a step back and understand what is given to you and write it down. When you write things down, things become easier. So you're asked what is x plus y. How can you derive a relation between x and y? The only way you can do that is understanding that the inside of these lines is a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral, not a square, not a rectangle, just a generic quadrilateral. And since it's a quadrilateral, some of the internal angles of the quadrilateral would apply. So that would be the first theorem. So sum of angles in any polygon is 180 multiplied by n minus 2. And since it is a quadrilateral, we have 4 minus 2. So the sum of internal angles would be 360 degrees. This is the first theorem that you would apply. And the second theorem that you can apply is, as you can see, this angle and this angle are adjacent angles on the same line, which means this angle would be just 180 minus x. That comes by the theorem that adjacent angles are supplementary, which means their sum equals 180 degrees. So if that is the case, then we also know that this angle would be 180 minus y, and this angle would be 180 minus w, and this angle would be 180 minus z. Doesn't matter which side they are on, because they are either angles on this line or they are angles on this line. They are still adjacent angles on a straight line. Okay, so when we combine these two formulas, we get something like 180 minus x plus 180 minus y plus, and finally we come to this particular relationship, which is 360 minus w plus z equals x plus y. So when we are trying to figure out this part of the equation, which is x plus y, really we have to figure out if we can find w plus z. If one of them is given, that is not sufficient. If both of them are given, then it will be sufficient. Or if there is any way that we are given the sum of w and z, then that will be sufficient. So let's write down what this translates to. We either need to know w and z individually, or we need a way to know w plus z. We don't care whether we know w and z individually. If we know the sum itself, then it is enough. So either of this information will make it sufficient. So statement 1 gives us only w, not z. So we are in this scenario where we get one of them but not both. We definitely don't know the sum, so this is not going to be sufficient, right? In the second one, we are given again one of the quantities, not both of them, or not the sum, so this is also going to be insufficient. However, when you combine both of them, you are given both of these quantities individually, and as we said, if we get these quantities individually, we know the sum. Since we know the sum, we can get x plus y. Hence, combined, this is sufficient. So the answer to this question is C. Combining both the statements, we get sufficient information to answer the question, which is what is the value of x plus y. If you have any lingering doubts or questions, please leave a comment. I personally respond to it. And if you found this video helpful, please do not forget to press like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a great day.